All right, Shalom. We want to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, B'Kakwadash. We want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, and peace and blessings on to the elect. Okay, we got a short lesson we're going to go into, Lord willing, and it's dealing with when you come to this truth, when you come into this truth, not exalting yourself, or trying to be that standout brother in a camp or in amongst Israel. You want to be known and have a name based upon the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the scriptures that you have. Okay, and what brought us to this lesson was actually reading in St. John the 7th chapter, like from 1 to through the 10th verse, and Lord willing, we're gonna bring that scripture out towards the end of this lesson, because Yahawashi showed us he showed us many examples, but he showed us pertaining to this lesson, he showed us a perfect example of humbleness, and that while this kingdom is standing, while this wicked world is standing, because back then they had the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was standing, which America today is nothing more than the reincarnated or the revised Roman Empire. Okay, and as long as this kingdom is standing, this is not it's not our time to get the glory. Okay, so without further ado, we're gonna get into some scriptures, and Lord willing, this is edifying. So go ahead.
This is Luke chapter 14 and starting at 7. And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden, when he marked how they chose out of the chief room, saying unto them, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding.
Right, so this is a parable, one of Yahawashi many parables. Start at verse 8 again.
When thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him.
Go ahead.
And he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room.
Right, so it's talking, the wedding represents this knowledge, this truth, okay? And we were all bidden or called to this knowledge by way of hearing the men of the Lord, the teachers, teach this word. We heard the word, and we believe, okay? And we got this truth, and we were called to this knowledge, okay? And it's saying when you come to the wedding, which is symbolic to this knowledge, okay? Because a wedding is really supposed to be like a feast, and the preparations for the actual marriage, a feast. The families come to the feast and mingle, and the woman family and the man family come together and they feast. And basically this is a custom that is done before a marriage. Okay, the actual union that takes place, which is the what you would call today the honeymoon. And that's actually when you're supposed to take your virgin, even though, these days you don't have a virgin, but you're supposed to take your woman, and then you take her into the bed chamber, and you marry her, or you by what? By sexual intercourse. Okay? In this case, of course, it's all symbolic. The wedding, us coming to this knowledge, is the thing that's going to happen before we are joined or married to our Lord and Savior Yahawashi. Okay? Meaning being delivered up out here and married with the Yahawashi in the clouds. It tells us that in real quick. get 1 Thessalonians 4. I'll give you the verse. Since I mentioned that, I'll bring it out real quick.
Going into the deliverance.
Come.
We'll start at 16.
Yeah.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with him in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Right. That's the marriage, being with the Lord in the sky. Could you read that again? Or meeting him in the cloud.
It's 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Just like the lesson we went into about the first and second marriage.
Right. And meaning we join married in the sense of the etymology of the word marriage, meaning joined together. Okay, it first starts with this knowledge, which is what? That's the wedding, where you come and it's a great feast. Okay, and we feasting on these scriptures. You know, we're feasting on Yahawashi, and it's many scriptures that can get brought out on that, but for the sake of time, go back to Luke 14, Con.
It's Luke 14 and 10. But when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he say unto thee, friend.
Well, matter, start back up at 8.
Luke 14 and 8. When thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room.
All right, so when you come into this truth through the order that the Most High set up, faith cometh by hearing. Okay, you hear this word and you believe in it. All right, don't seek the highest room, meaning to be puffed. This guy that's standing out before Israel or before your particular camp that you're in. You know, you got a comment you want to make?
Yeah, just an example of a guy who come into a camp, man, and he on the lowest level, but in his mind, because he might remember a certain amount of scriptures, I know this much information, that he automatically feel he's supposed to have a certain position or role in the camp. He should be speaking. I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that. No, you need to sit back and play your position, man, because it's not about just knowing scriptures, man. It's about your spiritual growth, man.
Right, and we didn't see examples of guys that they really had it in their mind. We talking about the guys that didn't fell out of this truth.
The precept kings,
really, the ones that were part of Great Millstone. That's what I'm speaking on. They were seeking to glory. They wanted all the brothers to look at them as this deep guy in the scriptures and reverence them, you know, and that's not what this thing is about, you know. Oh, go ahead.
Back in verse 9, I'll start back at 8. It says, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest and more honorable man than thou be bidden of him, and he that bade thee come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room.
Right. Go ahead.
But when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher.
Right, and the one that is giving this promotion is Yahawashi.
Because that's the only one that can give you increase in the spirit, man.
Yeah, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Salakia. Yahweh Yahawashi. Okay.
You could think that you're in this position and you so great in the scriptures, and the Most High could replace you with a brother you thought was lower than you, man.
Right. Yeah, the Most High through Yahawashi give the promotion and the demotion. Okay. So you come in this thing and you this thing I'm talking about, the truth, and you think you big and bad in the knowledge and you over all the brothers and you the most wise guy in the camp and you seeking to be seen, then you'll get demoted by the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. And now if you that humble guy that come in and you just focus on learning, and being built up, remaining humble, okay, not seeking to be known as this wise guy that know all these scriptures, that know all the breakdowns, okay, and is showing it, doing a lot of talking, okay, as if you on this great level amongst brothers, not doing those things. The Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi will elevate you in the spirit, and when these things happen, if you a humble man in this truth, then you do get promoted. The scriptures talk about moving from glory to glory. Okay, so we supposed to be edified in this thing, meaning built up. So your building starts from what? Milk, the foundation, and then you build from there. Go ahead, bro. Is that it?
No, that's more.
All right, yeah,
then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee.
Then thou shalt have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. Who is the them that sit at meat with you? The brothers, the men that's a part of the ministry with you. And that worship ain't talking about bowing down and bowing down to a man, but it's talking about honor and praise amongst your brothers. For your brother to see you came in at a particular level and then watch you grow, the Most High work with you and elevate you, and you displaying humbleness through this whole thing,
And we see that when we talk about it a lot, man. You don't even have to be in your camp. You just watch a brother through over the years from another camp, just over videos, and you might have met him in person. Like, man, brother got a real humble spirit, man. Real good spirit on the brother. And then a few years later, you see through the spirit, man, he get lifted up in the knowledge, man, and his spirit grow, becoming a stronger brother and a member of the body.
That's right. Go
verse 11.
See this, and then Yahawashi, what he's about to do, he gonna capsulate the parable with this next verse.
Luke 14:11. For whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbled himself shall be exalted.
Right, and if you exalt yourself, the scriptures tell you that pride goes before destruction. Okay, it tell you that knowledge. The scriptures talk about knowledge puffeth up. You get this knowledge, so you get puffed up in the mind, start thinking this top guy.
Yeah.
And then all humbleness really goes out the window.
Okay. I got a precept for you.
Come.
It's a book of Ecclesiastes, Sirach, chapter 10 and 12. It says the beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh, and his heart is turned away from his maker, man. So the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, man, because the minute that you had that first instinct or thought of pride and your actions follow it, man, you stepping away from the way the Most High wants to conduct ourselves in these days and times, man. So you get away from the foundation of what we grew up on, man. which is being humble and seeking this knowledge, man.
Bring out you got some more on there?
No, that was a point.
Get Ecclesiastes 7 and 4.
This is a book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes again, chapter 7 and 4. Seek not out of the Lord preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor.
You can go into that.
It says, seek not of the Lord preeminence, man. And real quick, just to get this definition for preeminence, man. Pre meaning from online etymology. It says also preeminence from the 12th century from Latin, preeminentia, distinction, superiority, from Latin, praetium. It says present particle of preeminere, transcend, excel, literally project forward, rise above. So we not supposed to be in the mindset, you just coming to this thing so I can be a great man.
And this, you come into this thing and you rise straight to the top.
Yeah.
It ain't about, it don't work like that.
We had, in personal cases, of seeing guys that do shit like that, man, come into a camp and a year later thinking they supposed to have some high rank in the camp.
Not the high rank, supposed to be the actual head of the camp.
Man, but back in Sirach 7 and 4, it says, seek not of the Lord preeminence.
Well, keep going in that definition, because I will get to it. Preeminence is a compound word. Pre and then eminere, I believe.
Yeah, eminent. It says from pray before. So
pre is before. Go ahead.
It says eminere, which to stand out. So you want to stand out before the rest of the congregation or the men, man.
You're right.
You don't want to be a part of the body. You want to be the head of the body. You know, and when you have many brothers and that's high in the spirit say, man, shit. And they, of course, making light, but saying, man, as long as if I just got to look over a tree in the kingdom of heaven, I'll be happy, man. You come in that spirit of putting yourself before the body, the Most High gonna do away with you, man. Because you got your own objective versus what the Most High got to set.
Right, because you're making this thing about you, and it's not about us. Okay.
So verse 5, it says, justify not thyself before the Lord, and boast not of thy wisdom before the king.
Yeah, boast not of thy wisdom. You're not supposed to be boasting about the knowledge that you got. That can be done directly or indirectly.
God, that's what I was just thinking of, man, because that's why the scriptures say to examine ourselves daily, because you could be doing this and not intentionally, man. And that's why you take heed to if your brothers admonish you or give you any type of counsel, like, hey, brother, you might need to slow down, but you're doing too much, man. Learn how when to be quiet sometimes, man.
Right.
Don't just feel like, you know what, I got this precept, it has to come out. Okay, I got this point, it has to come out, man.
Especially when you're around men that got rank over you, you should not be running your mouth a lot. You know? You shouldn't be talking much when you're around men, elders, and men that got the rank.
Well, I got a precept since you said that. This Sirach 6 and 33. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and not the parables of and let not the parables of understanding escape thee, man. So, like the brother was saying, if you're amongst elder brothers or men that's above you in the spirit, man, you need to hold your peace and take heed and listen to what they saying. Elsewise, you could pass up on getting some beautiful edification or understanding because you chose to run your damn mouth and try to show off what you know.
There's more in there?
Nah, that was a point.
All right, get Luke. I'm sorry, not Luke. Well, no, not Luke. I'm sorry. Get 2 Corinthians 10 and 17 in verse 18.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and 17. Shalak. 2 Corinthians 10 and 17. But he that glorieth, let him glory in the Lord. That's plain, man. That's where the glory goes to, man. That's the whole point of this the whole thing that the Most High got set up. We're lifting up His prophets to prophesy, to speak His prophecies and take this kingdom down, and so the glory can go to the Most High, man.
Right.
And Yahawashi come to do it, man.
Right. And in due time, we'll get our glory. You know, this ain't the time. While we teaching this word in this ministry, as a body, collectively as a body, okay, this is not the time for us to be to get our glory, okay. And it's definitely we never supposed to be in the mindset that it's all about us and you thinking about you and how you can exalt your name and how you can get your name out there. Okay, this whole thing is about Yahawashi name going forth through the earth first and foremost, and then the hopeful elect or the elect getting their glory and their name going throughout the earth. Okay, so order to it. You have something else?
Yeah, it's a quick precept.
Okay, go ahead.
Just to show that this is not a time for us to seek the glory, because Yahawashi haven't returned and established the kingdom, man. We'll get our glory in the kingdom, but this is Saint John.
Yeah, we'll get our ultimate glory in the kingdom.
Okay. This is Saint John 18:36. It says, and this is red letter. It says, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence, man." So the kingdom of the Lord of heaven has not been established yet, man. And at this point in time, Yahawashi was speaking back in the time when He was back in the flesh, man. Let him know it's not time to rise up and fight, man. At that time, it was during the Roman Empire. Now we're in a revised Roman Empire, which Yahawashi is soon to return and take down. You want to finish that up?
Yeah. You brought out 18?
No.
I got the 18 verse.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and 18. It says, For not he that commended him was approved.
All right. Just because like that statement or that saying, self-proclaim, you self-proclaim titles and positions in your mind. Okay? You in your mind, you telling yourself, I'm the greatest. You know, I'm the top man with this wisdom amongst brothers, and even in some cases, you know, we see guys that say they know more than the apostles and the elders, you know, and we got the top knowledge, so to speak. And so they're proving themselves.
Yeah.
Who told you that you was the top guy? Who told you that you were so big and bad in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding?
Demons.
Yourself. Yeah, the demons that are on you. Go ahead.
It said, "But whom the Lord commendeth."
Read that verse.
For not he that commended himself is approved, but whom the Lord commended.
Right. So, in other words, Yahawashi say, if you approve to be raised up or not. Okay, and that's gonna happen. Ultimately, if you remain humble on this side, it's gonna happen when the kingdom comes. We done did all this, do the work, and get our reward, because we hope to be of the elect, which is to have preeminence under Yahawashi in the earth. Okay, have Yahweh and Yahawashi is gonna get the ultimate preeminence, and then he gonna highlight his men that stood stiffly for his name. The proof of that, it tell you in the Apocrypha, what is that, 2nd Esdras 13, where it say we're gonna get the crowns put upon our head. Yeah. The man that had the highest stature, we ain't gotta get it, but I just want to make sure that's the book, chapter, and verse. No, that's not it. It's No, it's 2nd Ezra, chapter 2. Okay, well, we're not going to bring that out. I just want to make sure I say the right book, chapter, and verse. But that's the proof that we going to get glory. Okay, but first, Yahawashi gets their glory, and they always going to have the ultimate glory. Okay, and Yahawashi is going to highlight his men that stood stiffly for his name and crown him, physically crown him.
John 7.
Before you get to John 7, bring out Luke 17 and 10, and then we'll jump straight to John 7.
All right, this is Luke chapter 17 and 10. So likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which are commanded you, say, we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do.
And that's the mindset to having this truth. Just doing this work because it's your duty. Not looking to get glorified by men and for men to say, oh, man, that brother deep, man. That brother really know the scriptures. And there's nothing wrong with commending a brother in the spirit, you know. Saying that brother did a good lesson or something to that effect. There's nothing wrong with that as long as that's all done in humbleness and sincerity, you know. But looking for it is the problem. You looking for men to pat you on the back and, hey, man, you're doing a hell of a job, bro. Hey, bro, you know, that's not what this thing is about. We do the work. We unprofitable servants. The profit is going to come if we make it up out of here. If we get delivered from this up and coming destruction. All right, go John 7.
This is John chapter 7 and 1. After these things, Yahawashi walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him. So the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand. His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence, and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself of the world. For neither.
Right. So he was basically saying, you know, everybody not getting to see your miracles.
Yeah.
He said, you know, this feast is coming up. Go show the world of Israel, that is. Go show them your miracles. Go show them what you're doing, all these miracles that you're performing. Go ahead.
That wasn't the way the Most High had it set up to happen. Back in verse 4, it says, For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he that seeketh to be known, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself of the world. For neither did his brethren believe in him. So these were his worldly brothers. That they didn't truly believe in him.
Or his biological brother.
Yeah. Okay. It's verse 6. It says, Then Yahawashi said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready.
Right, because if Yahawashi would have showed everybody, went out and magnified his power, meaning showing that he can heal and perform miracles, then Israel, being the masses of Israel, pretty much being the people that have to see to believe, okay, they would have glorified him and then lifted him up, you know? He said, but my time is not yet come, meaning for me to get the glory, it's not my time to get the glory. Okay, it's not my time to be raised up with glory. It says, but your time is always ready. Why? Because the scriptures say that if you of the world will love his own. Okay, not gonna get the scripture, but the scriptures say that if you of the world gonna love you. So he's saying, look, shit, you go out. This is your time. Read on.
The world cannot hate you.
Right, because the world If you of the world's gonna love you. Okay?
But me it hated, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
Right. Yahawashi was speaking against all that wickedness that was going on in Israel and the Roman Empire.
Huh.
You know?
Go ye up unto this feast. I go not up yet until this feast, for my time is not yet full come.
Read it again, brother.
It says, go ye up unto this feast. I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come.
Go ahead.
It says, when he had said these words unto them, he abode still in Galilee. But when his brethren were gone up, then went he also up unto the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret.
And that's pretty much the point. You know you can read the rest of this chapter is a good chapter, as all the scriptures is good to read. But that's pretty much the point. It said he didn't go openly. But if you read on, it tell you that they knew he was there and they was asking him to you know, show his power, so to speak. And Yahawashi, according to prophecy, he wasn't supposed to come in that manner. When he came down here, it was for a purpose, and that was to give life. Scriptures say that, you know. By how is he gonna give life? By getting on that cross. That's how he gave life. That's how he took up the penalty that was against Israel, which was debt, and he took upon that debt. He was that sacrifice ultimately for the whole nation, but starting with the elect.
Adoption.
All right, and then that opened up the understanding to this knowledge by him getting on that cross. Okay, his sacrifice opened up the understanding to these scriptures. You read about that in Revelation, the 5th chapter. Okay, so that's pretty much it. More scriptures could have got brought out, but I think the point was made for this lesson. You got anything you want to add to it?
No.
All right, so we hope this lesson was edifying. Once again, well, I want to say this, you know, before we close it out. That was the perfect example. Yahawashi showed the perfect example of as long as these wicked kingdoms are standing, it's not our time to get glory, okay? Especially here in these last days. Okay, our time is gonna come in the kingdom, and he showed that. Look, back then he could have got glory if he wanted it, but he had to set the pace for the ministry. That this thing is not about getting the glory on this side, okay? So with that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahawashi, Ba'ashum, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth through the Spirit, and peace and blessings on to the elect. Shalom.